I'm in Wisconsin right now at my in-laws, and this is my father-in-law's garage, like absolute top tier, like elite level garage, right? We should be thankful for it. Thanksgiving's coming up, right? So we should be thankful for something as guitarists. And I recommend that we should be thankful for Josh Scott and JHS pedals, right? Because I don't think he's getting the appreciation he deserves right now. Everyone's so focused on what happened to Ross, why did Ross fail? Instead of the takeaway, which I think should be, wow, we should all strive to be like Josh Scott. We should be thankful there's a guy in our industry that's trying to promote it at large, and he's putting his own finances, effort, time, energy into trying to bring more awareness and raise up everyone in the industry. Like there's very few businesses and people that are willing to do that. So I'm very thankful for him. And also just like, he's a killer guitarist. He makes great products. He makes funny videos. He's got a great sense of humor. He's really tall, actually. When I met him, I mean, he's got to be 6'5". He's tall. I'm like 6 feet, like to the millimeter. Okay, and this guy made me feel like, I don't know, what, 5th grader. Anyway, let's move on. So he does his Ross Pedals venture, right? He sees a great American brand and he's, you know what? I can build this. I can make this a thing again. And instead of buying it outright and wearing it like a skin suit, he decides to license it from the Ross family so that they can get a cut of the action too. Very generous and a lot more expensive to do it that way, right? Or rather expensive in the long run, right? Like you're leaving a lot of money on the table when you do that. So that shows that he wasn't in it for like the riches, right? Because it would have been so easy to just buy the name and then just ship it off to Indonesia. But that's not what he did. He licensed it from them. He worked an agreement with the family to make sure that they got a cut of the action because this needs to stay in America and it's a great American brand. And what's the thanks he gets after it doesn't do well? You got a guy like John Cordy who decides, wow, look at how transparent and ethical he's being, but perhaps he's being unethical. I'm like, what? Wait, no, what? Wait a second. Like Josh just went on and told everyone he was very transparent about the project not working and he wished it did. And your takeaway is he's cheating us? and I thought it was a bit at first because he's making this video. He's taking apart, John is making this video, right? He's taking apart a JHS pedal. It's falling apart and he's musing to himself, I think this is probably pretty easy. It's probably not that expensive. And I'm like, wow, this is really funny. John's a funny guy because he's got a dry British humor. This is kind of like this is like a great bit. This is a funny bit. And it wasn't. It was, there's no way to get around. The intent was to defame Josh's character. That's the only takeaway there is. He wasn't just asking questions. He was intending to defame. I think Josh is ripping us off. In fact, he was like, is every pedal industry ripping us off if their pedals aren't $50? Like it was like the most 6th grade understanding of economics I've ever seen. I was like, okay, so you didn't look into it, you didn't investigate anything, you didn't ask anyone who worked in the industry. And certainly he has contacts in the music industry. He could be like, hey, are you guys ripping us off? But no, he went off to his 150,000 followers and decided to say, I think these guys are ripping us off. And so, rightfully so, he got flamed in the comments. And that's good because he was wrong and his audience said, you're wrong. And then he had to issue an apology, which is good. That's where it should end, right? He issues an apology. He said something stupid. He issues an apology. End of story. That's fine. No one's getting canceled, right? He didn't say anything crazy. And really even canceled. It's like, no one needs to get canceled. It's just a video. But then there's another takeaway, which is what can we learn, right? Because Casino Guitars put out a video saying, what can we learn about the failure of Ross pedals? And their takeaway was, there's too many products. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That is not how markets work, guy. And the only takeaway is that we should all strive to be like Josh. We should all endeavor to be in a position where we see something in our mind and we put our money and our energy towards it and try to raise it up. That is the takeaway. There's no other takeaways. There's no business takeaway. There's no ethical takeaway. The only thing is, God, I wish I could do what Josh does and try to make something out of nothing. That is the takeaway. That's like what I feel like everyone is missing, because we're all trying to say, like, take a piece out of Josh. We're all trying to say, like, look at Ross Pedals failing. Maybe I can get a piece of that action. Like maybe I can be the one to stand on top of that pile. I can stand on Josh's shoulders and say, this is what I would have done. BS. Because if you would have done it, you would have done it. You know what I mean? It's like, this guy did something. He did something that was hard, and he did something that certainly took his eye off the ball on a lot of different things, right? And it didn't go his way, unfortunately. And I have some opinions on maybe why it didn't go. I just think it's incredibly hard to run a business. And he already has a massive business, and so he's got to run another business. I think that just will stretch anyone to their limits. So it's really hard. It's very rare to see someone who can run 2 different manufacturing lines at the same time. It's just, especially within the same industry. Anyway, that's just I just think it's like, I don't know if anyone could have done that in his position. It's just really hard to do that. But if anyone could have done it, it would have been Josh. So it's like, Josh is like 20 times the guy that I am. So it's like, what am I even saying? Like, how could I even try to like compare anything I can do to him? It's like, this is the guy with the huge business. This is the guy that employs Americans. This is the guy that is putting new products out there. Like, what would I even say? I make videos. Like, I'm a guitarist. It's like, and he's a great guitarist already too. So it's like, and he's put out more albums than me. So it's like, again, like anything that I think I can do, he's already done it and done it much better. I'm following in his footsteps. You know what I mean? It's like, he's the one who walked the path, and I'm the one saying like, man, this path needs to be edited and changed. You know, like the Chesterton's fence kind of thing. Anyway, so for Thanksgiving, all I want to say is, for Thanksgiving, Josh Scott, I'm thankful for you here, and I'm going to make a point in 2025. I'm going to review a whole bunch of, demo, right? I don't really do reviews. I just demo them because I like every product. I'm going to demo all the JHS stuff, and he does some EHX stuff too, right? I'm going to try to get the MiG-50, the EHX one. I want to try that amp too. Anyway, so hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having a great Thanksgiving. I guess this is a rant. This is my rant that we should be thankful. There's so many things to be thankful for in the industry. I mean, like outside of my family that I love, right? There's so many things within our industry to be thankful for, and I am thankful for Josh Scott and what he's doing, because he's showing me what it's like to be a leader, what it takes, and also the thanks you get for being honest and ethical as people try to impugn your character. So, Josh, I'm supporting you. I'm reporting for duty. What you need me for, I will do gladly, sir. See ya.